So good morning, everyone. Today we are talking about Facebook and hashtags explained. So I know there's still some confusion as to what are hashtags. You probably know that they are what used to be called the pound symbol and is now called a hashtag. So let's get into a little bit more about that. They are a recognizable keyword preceded by the hashtag symbol or pound symbol. And they're a way for you to tie your post back to a specific topic. So users can click on that hashtag and see additional posts that contain that same hashtag. And using them can get your posts in front of people who are not already a fan of your page. It's a way for you to potentially get your content in front of new customers without paying also. So for example, maybe somebody's browsing around for Christmas cruises and they are on a cruise line's Facebook page and they click on that hashtag and then perhaps they're taken to one of your posts and see it and think, oh, okay, and then start reading the rest of them, become a fan of yours. So it's just a way to get those people from somewhere else to you. So as we said, they're a way for people to find more posts about a topic they're interested in. So what happens when you click on one? So for example, we're right here, we're looking at this Club Med post and we see total relaxation and think, well, that sounds good. That's exactly what I'm looking for in a vacation. So when you click on that, you can see here's some other posts that are also tagged with total relaxation. There's this one from a company called Baby London. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but we see below that there's the Club Med post that we'd originally clicked on. And then you could scroll down on and on and on for results, just like if you used Google and you typed in information about the Dominican Republic and you get pages and pages of results. You're going to get the same kind of thing here with the hashtags. It's just going to show you all of the posts that are publicly viewable that are related to whatever you clicked on. So here's another example, Norwegian Escape. And then you'll see here's another page that had put a hashtag for Norwegian Escape. And so you see they have a nice video and things like that. So it doesn't have to be just within the same page. And yet another one where they're talking about an article from Architectural Digest. So there are 3 different types of hashtags, loosely 3 different types. And so we're going to talk a little bit about those. The first one I want to talk about is content hashtags. And these are general ones that are used by everyone, as we just saw with the Norwegian Escape hashtag. The cruise line is using it. There's different agencies that are using it. For example, we talked about hashtag Caribbean cruise. If you're discussing a Caribbean cruise, you might include hashtag Caribbean cruise. Here's an example of this. For Colette, they did this hashtag Foodie Friday, which is a pretty popular hashtag even outside of the travel industry. So things like that are good ones to use too, because you might find somebody who's interested in food and maybe not necessarily looking for travel right now, but they may find your post and think they're interesting, like your page, and then start interacting with you and become a customer later. Here's another one. This one's from Club Med, Sunday Fun Day. That's a general one that anybody could use. And here's one from Neil Miller. You can see a little bit lower down. You've got the Throwback Thursday. Throwback Thursday is a pretty popular one. And here we have one of just the destination. So you can see there's a lot of room here to be creative and figure out what other people are using. I thought this one from African Travel was particularly cute, talking about the big 5 and the little 5, and then they're talking about the ugly 5, and then they're using a couple different hashtags for that. So here's just some really quick examples of general travel content hashtags that you could use. Hashtag quote, quote of the day, things like that. Hashtag photo of the day. Maybe if you're doing something about pictures of the people that work in your office doing something, or photos of your actual office, you can do something like behind the scenes. Video of the day, traveling with kids, Throwback Thursday, Sunday Fun Day, Foodie Friday, Wedding Wednesday, Dream Wedding. So you're getting the idea. There's a whole bunch of these that you can use, and you know your agency the best. You know the best what your posts are about, so you're going to have kind of an idea of what are the topics that most of my posts are going to be about. Start creating ideas from that. So the next type of hashtags I want to talk about are trending hashtags. And these are related to something that's happening right now or an upcoming event or a holiday season. So maybe you're talking about Christmas travel options, which we're fairly early in the year, but it's never too early to start planning. So if you're talking about some opportunities for maybe a Christmas cruise, something like that, you could include hashtag Christmas within your post. You're going to get people, seeing that from outside of the travel industry, but again, that can be a good thing. You can get some new clients from places you might not have known about. And let's just take a look at what that might look like. So here we have one that was from National Coffee Day, which was a great one to tag. That was very definitely a trending one on that day. And here we had one where they were talking about the Battle for Atlantis. I don't know anything about basketball, but this is a great example that Classic did where they have a hashtag that's related to that specific sports event. So you're going to have people talking about it that are not in the travel industry, but you can get additional clients coming to your page from that. So here's some other ones we're looking at. Oktoberfest, and here's a couple of different ones for that. I thought these were great examples. Then we're going to talk about unique hashtags. This is the third grouping. And these are hashtags that you would create for your own content. These would be unique to you or your agency. And the reason for this is just for people to easily be able to see all of your content that is related to one specific topic, which is you. So for example, if your agency name is ABC Travel, you might want to start using a hashtag like hashtag ABC Trips or hashtag ABC Recommends, and then use that within selected posts that you're creating. You don't necessarily have to put it on everyone, but either real special and unique, maybe you're talking about a group departure, something like that, then you could start including these hashtags, or maybe if it was something that you thought was really interesting to your clients that was a general post, you could start including that also. And the key is to creating a unique hashtag. Make sure nobody else is using the same one, because anybody can start using whatever hashtag they want. There's nothing to prevent them from using it, but you don't want to necessarily find out that this hashtag you've started using is also being used by another agency or an insurance company or something else. You just want to make sure it's pretty unique to you. So let's look at a couple examples here. So this is one that Norwegian Cruise Line has been using, which is Ship Selfie Sunday, and I thought that was a great idea. And Universal has been using this Universal Moments on a lot of their photos. And you'll see here, African Travel uses We Know Africa in a lot of theirs, and that's one that they use related to a lot of their posts. So let's talk about a few important things to know about hashtags. Don't overuse them. You don't want to put 100 hashtags on each post. 1 to 2 is plenty, and in fact, too many of them actually lowers the engagement on your post. A recent study showed that on Facebook, posts with 1 to 2 hashtags averaged 593 interactions. Posts with 3 to 5 averaged 416, and posts with 6 to 10 averaged only 307. So you can see how that is dropping. Obviously, these were larger pages that they did a study on, but you can still see the ratio continues to go down. So, and then you get to posts with more than 10 hashtags averaging just 188 interactions. So that's about a third. So you don't want to go crazy with them. Also, you can capitalize the first letter in each word in your hashtag. It doesn't actually make any difference whether you capitalize them or not as far as results go. People will still find them whether they're capitalized or not. It just makes it a little easier when people are reading them to read it this way rather than everything just kind of jammed together. And you can only use numbers or letters in hashtags on Facebook. You can't use special characters, spaces, things like that. And the key feature, keep it relevant. Make sure the hashtags you're using are related to your post. Some people might get tempted to say, oh, well, there's this current thing in the news going on. I'm going to add that hashtag to my post about my Caribbean cruise. That's great and all. You might get some views, but they're not going to be people who are interested in what you're talking about, because what you're talking about isn't related to that in any way. It's the equivalent of getting spam emails. Yeah, people might see them, but they're not going to be interested because they're not looking for that. So just keep it relevant. There's plenty of great ones that are related to all of your topics. So let's look at an example of too many hashtags. So here we have a bunch of different ones at the end here. And here's another one that has even more. I would say this is, yes, these are probably related, but they're entirely too many on this one post. Now let's look at a couple posts with a good number of hashtags. Here's this Poggogan one. They have everything that is related to this post. They're talking about a Caribbean cruise, they have the name of the bar, and they have the name of their ship. And they don't need anything beyond that, and that's a perfect amount for that post. Generally 1 to 2. In this case, 3 is perfect. Here's another one from this travel agency. They're talking about a Caribbean cruise, the trip to paradise. Absolutely perfect. I like the way they integrated the hashtag within the text rather than just having a list at the end. Sometimes you won't be able to do that, but when you can, it's nice to be able to do that. So let's take a look at what comes up for a couple of hashtags here. So here we have clicked on the name of this Poggogan ship, and we're seeing there's a couple different posts that are showing up. We have this one from this ACS agency, and then Carlos, and you can see all of these are related to Poggogan. And the same thing again, when we click on Caribbean Cruise, we see Sponsors of Rock Cruise, we see something from The Healthy Voyage, and again, it would scroll on and on. But these are all related to Caribbean Cruises. So this goes back to where I said keep the hashtags relevant, because you could see how all of a sudden finding maybe an article for politics or a recipe or something else in here when you clicked on Caribbean Cruise would seem strange, and you don't know what to expect because you're like, why am I seeing this? This isn't related to what I clicked on. So if you're ready to dip your toes in, start using hashtags. I would say start using a couple of the general content ones. Just try it out for a couple posts a week. You don't have to do it on every post. And maybe just on like your travel tips or something, start tagging that as hashtag travel tips. See if you start noticing any change in the engagement on your post, the reach of your post, anything like that. It's just a good way to always try new things and see what works for you. So if you have questions, you can always contact us. I have our email address and phone number up here. If you're a member of our ESP user group, you can always interact with us on there also. And so if you've missed any of our previous ones or want to see what we're talking about the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about advanced boost using targeting on Facebook and Instagram for travel agents. You can also view our YouTube channel. We have Facebook Boost Explained and the Facebook Algorithm Explained. I'll have this webinar up there later today or tomorrow, so you can always replay it if you have questions, want to look at the list of hashtags I suggested, anything like that again. And here's where you can go, youtube.com/user/passportonlineinc.com. So let's see if you guys have any questions, and I'm going to leave the contact information up for that. And let's see here. And so we have a question about if you're using ESP, are hashtags already added? And with ESP posts, they are not. And the reason for that is because if we picked a hashtag to add to the post, then when you guys clicked on it, you would see every other agency's ESP post for that same post showing up. So we let you add your custom ones to the ESP posts once they're live, and you can just always go to your Facebook page and edit that post on Facebook and put in whatever hashtags you want on there. And there's another question, if I'm targeting a local geographic market, does it make sense to hashtag the community name, for example, Toronto? I think that does make sense. I would try it on a couple, see how that works, and always be prepared to adjust. You might find as you start looking, click on that hashtag once you add it and see what other hashtags are on other posts. There might be something like Toronto events or Toronto community or other things that you find that are specific to that you see other people are using that might be even better than just generically Toronto, but it's a good place to start. Any other questions? All right, I'm going to wait just about 1 more minute to see if there's any other questions. And then if you do have any follow-up, again, you can always email us or give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer those for you. All right, well, thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a great day. And we're going to have our next Solution Series webinar in June, and I hope that you can all join us. And again, the replay will be available on YouTube later today or tomorrow. Thanks.